Gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite you here this afternoon for this special muster, this one-off muster, and it gives me especially great pleasure to introduce to you our guests today. Our principal guest today is Henry Frayne. Henry was a Woodcock houseboy between the years 2000 and 2006. He left the school at the end of Year 11 to pursue his athletics career, and has since that time been undertaking that sport at a very elite level. Henry is the son of an old scholar, Jeff Frayne, and he is also the nephew of old scholar Bruce Frayne, who famously competed in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, meaning that Henry is the second of the Frayne family to represent Australia at Olympic level. Importantly, Henry is also the cousin of Year 12 student Nick. Henry will be interviewed today by Adam Steinhardt, who is also an elite athlete, having competed in the pole vault in the 1990 and 1994 Commonwealth Games. Adam is the president of Athletics International, as well as the managing director of The Kingdom, the company that works closely on a day-to-day basis in the marketing of Saints and the Saints website. Could I please ask you to warmly welcome to the stage Adam Steinhardt and Henry Frayne.
Thanks, Aaron, and thanks very much, boys, for having us today. Henry, must be a thrill to come back to Saints, mate.
Yeah, it's great to be back here. It's it doesn't happen very often. This is about the first time I've been in this hall in about 6 or 7 years. So it's nice to be back and see a few familiar faces who used to teach me and stuff.
And I think it's important now to let's have a quick look at what you do. So long jump, triple jump. It started here in the back oval. Let's get a bit of a feel for the performances that you put in getting to the Olympic Games in March this year. Metres, 34 centimetres in the triple jump. We're going to measure that out in a sec. It's a long way, but we'll have a look at the long jump and check that out. Boys, give that a round of applause. Incredible jumping there. And just before we talk to Henry and get a bit of an idea of what it's like to soar through the air like that, I'm going to ask Ollie and Ed, a couple of prefects, just measure out exactly how far 8 metres 27 in the long jump is. So Ollie, check us out. So imagine Ed's taking off the board there. So Henry's running in rapidly. That is 8 metres 27. That's how far this man can long jump. You amazed by the distance yourself, mate, standing up here?
Yeah, it looks pretty big when it's indoors.
Yeah. And then hop, step and a jump. Keep going, Ollie. And we've got 17 metres and 34 centimetres. Look at that, boys. Incredible. So I'll just ask the guys to stand there for a sec, because I reckon it's important. When did you first come to Saints, Henry?
It was year 5, so I don't know how old I was, but
and so you can imagine you're up the back there. Did you ever think one day you'd be able to, in 3 steps, go across the full length of Mem Hall?
No, not at that stage in my life. I didn't.
Thanks, guys. So talk us through those jumps. I mean, it must be an incredible feeling to soar through the air like that.
Yeah, look, at that time I was down in Melbourne at the selection trials, and I was just in really good shape. You know, I'd had a decent preparation, and we'd just built up a few comps in a row, and I jumped, I think 795, and then went and did the 827, and my first triple jump I'd gone 1690, and then done a 1710, and then a 1720, and so on and so forth. And just in really good shape, and there was good adrenaline. We had, decent conditions, nice tailwind, and things just came together. There was not too many injuries. So
fantastic. Good. So if we take you back to your time here at Saints, you still hold the under 16 triple jump record at 13 metres 13, and under 15 long jump at 611, and high jump under 14 176. What was the difference between the experiences you had here as a boy? What did you do from your time at Saints to get better?
Well, I guess the main thing I did was I moved over to Melbourne and finished school at Melbourne Grammar. But that was just to add on the sort of the base I had here at Saints. Obviously, this is where I started doing track and field out at the sports days down in the junior school, and for me it was my favourite time of the year, favourite day of the year, and I used to do the full 7 events, I think it was, that you could do, and that used to be everything from the 100 through to, I think I did the shot put a couple of years, and it was where my enthusiasm for the sport started, and I guess really just finding a place where I could hone my skills and continue to train hard, which started here on the back oval, and then became Santos Stadium, and then Melbourne, and now Brisbane. It's just been an ongoing process of training and rehabbing injuries, and doing all the little 1% things that you don't want to do on the day when you wake up and you can hardly get out of bed, and
So, mate, what are some of your fond memories of the school? If you have any.
For me, Saints, I split up into each year because of the way the structure works with the year level areas around the school. I have sort of a distinct memory of every grade that I was here in the senior school, from being over on the main oval in, I think, year 11, and down the back here in year 9, and on the Lloyd Oval in, I guess it was either year 8 or year 10. And just, every lunchtime getting out and playing a sport on the oval, I was always involved in doing something, and that just carried over into the extra curriculum sports.
Fantastic. So if we fast track now to your senior athletic career, you had success as a junior, and then last year went to the World Championships in Daegu, came 9th for the 1704 in triple jump. Obviously then you're probably getting excited about the fact London's coming around and you think you're a chance. So talk us through that experience leading into the summer and getting ready for the London Olympics.
I was very lucky to make the World Champs in 2011. I was selected off a B qualifier, which it doesn't really, it doesn't happen often. And it was really just because I was 21 and I was given leeway for potential in the future, basically. I went there and had a bit of an injury in the preparation and managed to come 9th still. And I guess from there was a bit of excitement that if I put together a really good preparation that I might be able to come out and do something really good at the Games, at the Olympics, and that obviously meant that I had to qualify for the Olympics first, which I did in Melbourne, and then it was just
So if we talk about that Melbourne experience, it was a little unusual because you actually qualified first in the long jump. Not your pet event typically, you were known as a triple jumper. How did the long jump suddenly get involved there and sneak in with the first qualifier in getting ready for London?
I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. I hadn't done long jump properly for about 4 years. Back in 2009 I had jumped 799, which was good for a junior. I think fourth Australian all time as a junior, but then I pretty much just focused on the triple jump, so it was really just a pressureless second event for me, and my triple jump was going well, my training was going well, and there was no triple jump on for the weekend. So I guess much like the interclubs that they have out here, they go one event then the next, and so I just had to go at long jump and had a nice tailwind, and the competitive spirit took over, and out came 8:27.
So quite an amazing situation. You wake up that day afterwards and say, well, I just qualified for the long jump, I'm not qualified for the triple jump. So did that sort of send your brain in a bit of a spin?
That was a bizarre feeling, because I'd worked for 6 or 7 years to try and make the Olympics for triple jump, and then to suddenly basically be a shorter spot in the long jump was bizarre. But at the same time I was reasonably confident that I could get the 17:20 out, and it only took a week, so that was good.
So a week later, jumped the qualifying on the plane to London. How amazing. I mean, all Olympians have the experience of walking to the opening ceremony, the stadium of the 2012 Olympics. How was that? We saw you on telly coming through. How great was it?
It's funny. They hold all the athletes outside the main stadium until they actually walk in, so you end up standing for about 2 or 3 hours outside the stadium, hearing all these roars and performances, but not being able to see anything. So that's not that amazing. But and then you actually walk in, and suddenly everything just you forget all of that, and you've got 80,000 people cheering and staring, and it's an amazing feeling. There's just sort of butterflies just come up in your stomach.
And was the opening ceremony better than Sydney, mate?
I can't remember Sydney, to be honest.
10 years old.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. So you were lucky enough, I guess, had one of the more difficult jobs competing on what was known as Super Saturday, where the Brits went ballistic. Mo Farah, Jessica Ennis. In your event, you actually had the eventual winner coming from England. Talk us through your experience of the qualifying and then leading into the final of the long jump.
In all honesty, I knew I wasn't in amazing shape. I knew I wasn't in PB shape like I was in Melbourne. As with most athletes leading into the Olympics, often there's injuries that pop up, and that plagued me this year. But I'd managed to get a few weeks preparation in, and I was still confident that I could make the final, because I knew that 8 metres or thereabouts would make the final. So I was confident until we walked around the outside of the track in a tunnel, and every 100 metres or so you'd get a glimpse in at the stadium, and then you just have the butterflies coming. Then we walked out in front of 80,000 people, and it's really quite surreal. Suddenly I just had nerves, running right through me, and I couldn't even concentrate. So, then it was just a matter of getting the best that I had on the day out there, which was 795, and just lucky enough to get through to the final.
It was a bizarre event for those that did watch it, because the standards were substantially lower than the rankings. So all of a sudden, many athletes start thinking, I can win the gold medal here. And going into the final, did you ever think that you're a chance to win the gold?
Well, like you say, the standard was a bit lower, and that was due to the conditions in the stadium. They, being the Olympics, they had to set it up for TV, and so they wouldn't change it to have a tailwind. But I thought I was a chance for still maybe a top 5, given the condition I was in. But in all honesty, no, I didn't think I had the ability to win the gold, and that's not that I don't have self-belief, but it's just when you get to the elite level of competing, and you know your body so well, and I knew from my preparation that I wasn't going to be able to come out and jump 8:30, which was what it would take to win the gold medal.
Yep. So you ended up 9th with 785 in the final. Mitch Watt from Australia won the silver medal. Must have been great having a teammate at least get a medal and get on the dice.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch was favourite going into the games, and similar to me, he'd had not the most ideal preparation, but obviously he's an extremely talented guy, and his 60% or 70% health is still enough for a silver at the Olympics, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, no, it was nice to have someone out there and who I train with every day, and obviously from Australia, and just calm the nerves a little bit, I think.
Fantastic. The triple jump, 1640, a struggle, it's fair to say?
Yeah, no, not one of my better days. I hadn't done I hadn't done a triple jump in 9 weeks. I actually broke my ankle leading in to the Olympics in America. So we just moved all my focus to long jump basically, because it's less force on your body, and so no, leading in, I was mentally thinking, it doesn't matter what form I'm in, I can jump 17 metres, and my brain was telling me that, but if you saw the footage, my body obviously, I had no timing, and it was no good.
Still, you've got many Olympics ahead of you. What's the plan now going forward in the next Olympiad?
Well, the main thing I took from London was a new hunger, basically, to succeed. A lot of the guys who won medals were my age, or within a year or so of my age, and so for me that was like, not just being beaten, by someone who's maybe had 10 more years experience or something, but it was being beaten by guys who have had the same training, the same amount of time in the sport that I have. So, look, that really hit me pretty hard, and I'm pretty keen to first start with the World Champs next year and try and win a medal. But in terms of Rio, I'm pretty keen on Rio. I'll be 26 or something when Rio comes around, and hopefully by that stage I'll be a really, really good chance of a medal.
Fantastic. So looking forward to the Australian season. Any chance you'll be jumping in Adelaide so we can get out and have a look?
That depends if they put on a long or triple jump at the Adelaide Invitational.
Yep.
So they haven't for the last couple of years. I'd love to come back here. It's obviously have the benefit of just staying at home rather than a hotel. So we'll see. That's out of my hands.
So what do you think, mate? Just from obviously this school has a rich tradition in track and field. Chris Taylor and the team have done a wonderful job over many years. And there's a bunch of guys in this room who absolutely could go the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games level. So what are some of the messages you'd like to give the boys who are in school now, potentially thinking about having a crack at the big stage?
I think it all just starts with self-belief, to be honest. If you don't really believe in yourself, or if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to do the 1%ers that you need to do. Like I said before, you wake up and you're a bit sore and you think, if it's footy training, I don't think I want to go to footy training tonight. If you have that mentality, then you're never going to be able to put in the effort that you need to make it as an elite athlete. And so it's really just about, every time when you're down or struggling a little bit, just going for it and making sure you make every take effect of every opportunity you have here at Saints.
Now, mate, is there a moment which you'd like? You're back at the school now. You've got a chance to pass on a message to a teacher, or thank the headmaster, thank the school. Is there a part of the school which you think's had a massive, profound impact? Which you think you've got the mic in front of the entire school now? It gives you a chance to say a few words that you'd like to perhaps pass on. Now you're a bit older. I put you on the spot there, haven't I?
You have put me on the spot. I did see Mr. Gilmore before. There he is over there. I did used to cut across the main oval a little bit on my way to training after school, and I guess maybe not a message, but I'd just like to let him know that I got away with it a few times.
So there's some sound advice for you boys. It's possible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they say the Australian Olympic team is the inspiration of our nation, and you are lucky to have an inspiration of South Australia and the St. Peter's School. Please give thanks and make welcome Henry Frayne.
I'd like to now please invite one of the co-captains of athletics, Ed McLeish, to the stage to offer a vote of thanks.
Just first and foremost, I'd really like to thank Adam for all of your time. They were very well thought out questions, and I'm sure the boys have learnt a lot today. So from the school, we have got some cufflinks to present to you as a symbol of our thanks.
Thanks.
And to Henry, thank you also for your time. Your achievements have been outstanding, and the school is proud to call you an old scholar. So also we've just got a history book of the school and an old scholar's tie to symbolise our thanks.